Hi, my name is Wade Tolles. I'm a Senior AI Application Specialist for the IBM Engineering Tools. For the next few minutes, we're going to be talking about collection essentials for the DOORS Next Gen or Engineering Requirements Management tool. So what is a collection? Well, a collection is essentially a set of artifacts that you can create for a specific purpose. When you create a collection, you can link the collection to and from other artifacts. You can embed them in a text-based artifact. You can create reviews from the collection and other things. Some things to remember or think about rather about collections is that number one, you can't add a collection to a collection, but you can add a module to a collection. We'll talk about that in another session. When you save a view from within the collection editor, the view will appear in the current collection and in all other collections in the project. The view will not appear, however, in any other context within the project. Now, there are differences between collections and modules, but we're not going to get into that right now. But just know that a collection is just that. It's a grouping of requirements or artifacts, while a module is more of a document type formatting of how artifacts are put together. Some reasons that you'd create a collection: you can identify a group of related artifacts to work with. You can add terms to the collection to use as a glossary. You can group artifacts that are mature and ready to be reviewed. You could capture a set of requirements that are ready for review and that have been reviewed and approved. You could identify artifacts that are related to a common goal. You can link collections to release plans and test plans. And then you can automatically create test cases or work items from those requirements in the collection. And there's a bunch of things that you can do. So that's what we're going to talk about today is how to create those collections. So let's look at our project. First of all, we're just looking at a dashboard of the parking system requirements. It's just a set of requirements that have been put together in a sample project in the IBM Quick Start environment. So we'll look at our artifacts, and within our artifacts, if we look at all of the requirements, the system requirements, we can see that we have a number of requirements in the tool. What we're going to do is first we'll check and see and note that there are no collections currently. Now, typically you would create a collection of something or some specific grouping of requirements, as we mentioned earlier. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're now going to add a filter to our view. Now let's go ahead and add a filter and call this just a word under the text and call it vehicle. What we're going to do is we're going to add and close that filter, and that's going to filter out all the words or everything that doesn't have the word vehicle in it. So at this point now we see that all of our collections are related to vehicles. So we had a grouping of artifacts that were all of the artifacts within the requirements within the requirements. Now we've got a view that contains just vehicles. So what we're going to say is save this as a new view and call it vehicles. And we can keep it personal at this point. Now we've got a vehicles view that has our grouping of requirements. And that's one way to segregate requirements that we want to work with as views. But if we were to save this or link this collection to our test tool, it wouldn't recognize these as a collection. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new collection and add these to that collection. So let's select all of these requirements, and we're going to click the little button beside this item right here, this icon, and we're going to say add these 5 artifacts to a collection. And that's that item right there, add 5 artifacts to a collection. So we'll go ahead and click that, and now we're going to create a new collection. Since there are no collections, we'll create a new artifact that is a collection, and this is a collection artifact, and we're going to say vehicles, and this is a personal collection, and we're going to go ahead and keep it within the same folder that it's in, and we'll say OK. Now we have a collection artifact, and now we can add these artifacts to the collection. So we're going to, since we still have them all highlighted and we've got our collection artifact now created and highlighted, we're going to say add and close. And all of these artifacts now have been added to the vehicles collection, and we can see that in a couple of ways. Number one, if we just click on the artifact, the collection artifact that we just created, we'll note that all of those artifacts exist. And we can also look over into our collections folder, and we can see that under our all folders here, we've got our vehicles collection, and that if we click on that, we can see that all of our requirements are now in our collection. And that's it. So at this point, we can do, as we mentioned, we can do a number of things with that. We can take this collection, since we're now in the overview of the collection, we can create a comment on the entire collection. We could create a review of the collection. We can link the entire collection to a plan. We can say that this collection is validated by, and link that into an RMM testing plan. Note that it is in the plan. So if we select that, it will link the collection now to the test plan. We'll go ahead and do that, hit OK. And now if we link or click on our test plan, we can go to our testing tool. We're now in our RMM test plan, and note that our requirements collection link is back to our requirement, our vehicles collection. Now at this point, we can go in and create test artifacts, but we'll go ahead and save that for another session. Hope this was helpful. You can actually find some more information on that on the IBM documentation, and the link is right there on the screen. If you've got any questions, please contact me, and I hope you have a great day. Please check back for more videos.